everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into the new highlighters from Dior. I have actually had these in my collection for a minute, but I just haven't had a chance to film with them. Lots to say about these highlighters. This is the new highlighter. The packaging is very beautiful. It's shiny. So if you want to compare it to, for example, this is the bronzer, which I really do love the bronzer. So this is a bronzer packaging. It's got a matte finish on it, and the highlighter has a shiny finish on it, which I do really appreciate that they made it different because they look exactly the same, but this one is shiny. I don't know if it's showing up. Let me turn down the ring light. It might show up with that. So see how it's shiny? So this is the highlighter and this is the bronzer. So the bronzer is more matte. See how it's kind of a plastic shine to it? There we go. You guys can kind of see it. So these highlighters retail for $48. I actually picked up two shades. So I got the number 1 Nude Glow, and I also picked up the shade, ooh, about dropped it. I also picked up the shade number 3, which is the Pearlescent Glow. And this one reminded me of the one from Fenty that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So I wanted to see how it compared to the Fenty. The one I'm talking about is the How Many Carats. I absolutely love this highlighter. It's just, oh, so good. So I wanted to kind of see how it compares and if it's similar or better or whatever. So that's the reason why I got this shade. So the description on this, it says it is a highlighter powder with a high impact iridescent glow, giving skin an instant boost of radiance and comfort all day. Formula is infused with wild pansy extracts to hydrate and provide lasting comfort. It is housed in a Dior Couture compact. So that's the information about the highlighters. Let's go ahead and jump into the cost breakdown so you guys can kind of get an idea of how this price compares to other highlighters that are out on the market. So the Dior highlighter, like I said, retails for $48. You get 6 grams, which is 0.21 ounces worth of product. So that makes this highlighter $8 per gram. It is made in Italy. That is the deets on this highlighter. Now, comparing that to the Fenty, because the shade is similar, I did want to compare it to Fenty. So the ones from Fenty are $39. You get 8 grams worth of product, which is 0.28 ounces. With that, you pay $4.88 per gram. So the one from Dior is almost double the price of the one from Fenty. Now, the ones from Fenty are made in the USA, and this one comes in 3 shades. Now, I also wanted to compare it to the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. This one is a little bit more expensive, so I wanted to kind of give you a comparison. So this I've actually really loved. I've been using this for a long time. I've always reached for this. It's one of my favorite highlighters. This retails for $42. You get 8 grams worth of product, which is 0.28 ounces. That makes this highlighter $5.25 per gram. So it is still less than the ones from Dior. And this is also made in Italy. It does only come in this one shade. And I will, of course, do swatches of this next to those others from Dior. Now, let's talk about the one from Pat McGrath. The only reason why I'm talking about this one from Pat McGrath is because the way that this one from Pat McGrath applies on the skin is very similar to this one from Dior. So I wanted to include this. You can't actually get this anymore buying it separately. I looked on the Pat McGrath website. You could still buy this, but it comes in like a set. So you can get it with the highlighter brush. I think it was for like $80. Or I think it is a part of a set with like the palette and stuff, but buying this alone, you cannot get it alone anymore. But this is a beautiful highlighter, and I have loved this highlighter since I got it. So this highlighter retailed for $48. You get 10 grams worth of product, which is 0.35 ounces. That makes this highlighter $4.80 per gram, and it is also made in Italy. This is still almost half the cost of the ones from Dior. So the next one I want to talk about is this one from Charlotte Tilbury. This one is available on her website, and I love this highlighter. It's one of my favorite golden highlighters where it's really, really golden and very beautiful on the skin. So pretty. And it also has the same kind of texture as the one from Dior, so I wanted to include it in the cost breakdown. So this highlighter retails for $45. You get 10 grams worth of product, which is 0.35 ounces. That makes this highlighter $4.50 per gram, and it is also made in Italy. So something to keep in mind. Even cheaper than the one from Natasha Denona and the one from Pat McGrath. And it's almost pretty close to being half the price of the ones from Dior. Then I wanted to compare it to the recent one that I picked up during the summer limited edition collection. So Dior launched 2 Summer Dune eyeshadow quints, and they also launched 2 highlighters. So I picked up this one in the shade Peach. This is called Peach Dune. I don't think you can get this anymore. It was limited edition, but because it's Dior, I wanted to kind of compare the price of this one compared to this new one from the Forever line. This is the Dior Skin. So this highlighter retailed for $50. You get 5 grams worth of product, which makes it 0.21 ounces. This highlighter is $10 per gram. And it is also made in Italy. So the new ones, this one is $8 per gram and this is $10 per gram. That's the cost breakdown for these highlighters and how they compare to other highlighters out on the market. Let's go ahead and jump into the application where I apply both of the highlighters on the skin, give you guys my impressions of them, and then of course we will jump into the swatches of these highlighters and how they compare to other highlighters out on the market. And then of course we will jump into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the application of these 2 new highlighters from Dior. I'm kind of excited to dive into these. The first color that I got is Nude Glow. So this is 01 Nude Glow. Very beautiful. And I'm going to swatch it. Ooh, it feels super pretty. Okay, that's pretty. This kind of reminds me of a light version of the Pat McGrath, but it's just more lightweight on the skin. This is a very beautiful highlighter, so I'm excited to try that. The other shade that I got is the Pearlescent Glow. This is 03, and the reason why I bought this one is because I was curious to see how this wore and how this looked compared to the one from Fenty. I love the one from Fenty. It's one of my favorites. So we're going to swatch that one. Ooh, that's pretty too. I'm going to first put on the Nude Glow on this side so we can see how it looks. So ooh, my brush picks up a lot. So I'm using the squirrel hair brush. This is from Wayne Goss. This is from the artist set. So this picked up a lot, but it is a black brush so you can actually see the product. So I am going to tap off and apply. That is super pretty. So even though I have some texture here, it doesn't emphasize the texture. It's not emphasizing it at all. I'm going to put some right here. I love a little bit of Cupid's bow highlight. Sometimes I go a little bit overboard, but I love it. I'm going to put some here. I'm going to wipe the brush off and I'm going to go into this white one. Let's see how much the brush picks up. So the brush picks up a lot. So if you look real close on the black hairs, you can see some of the blue, tiny little specks of glitter in it. So I'm going to tap off because I don't want to have a big old glitter bomb all over my face. Woo! Woo-hoo! That is a highlighter, my friends. Holy moly. I was not expecting that. It's not something I would wear on a daily basis. I'm going to wipe the brush off and then I'm just going to kind of blend it. It is. It's very beautiful. It's a lot. So, I think they gave you the best of both worlds. So for those that like a lot of highlight and kind of that sparkle. Like this is right up your alley, right? And then this is definitely for somebody who just likes more of a toned down, more of a natural type highlight. The one from Fenty, it is called How Many Carats? It's the Diamond Bomb. This is the one I was thinking of. I love this. This has been a favorite of mine for a while. This is what it looks like. And what I like about this is just straight up white crystal. Like this doesn't have any cast of blue in it. Like this one from Dior has a little bit of like blue specks in it. This one from Fenty is creamier. You can see the blue tint. The one from Fenty is a little bit creamier in texture. This one's more dry. I still personally think I like the Fenty one the most. I do. The Fenty one is very hard to beat in my personal opinion. I've loved this highlighter from Fenty since it dropped, because what I like about this is I can wear it alone, or if I can amp up a highlighter with it. So if I wanted to kind of bring a little bit more to this because it's so natural, if I wanted to bring a little bit more oomph to it, I'd put on a tiny bit of this and it would just, it's just beautiful. And I love the texture of it because it is kind of that creamy kind of putty type, but it looks like glass. Like it is beautiful. The other thing that I like about the Fenty one is it's not too much highlight. So you can really you can add just a tiny bit or you can load it up. So you really have a lot of options with the one from Fenty. This one from Dior is beautiful, but it does have a blue cast to it. And I don't know that I love the blue cast. So I think that's why I still love the Fenty one. That's just my opinion. So that's it for the application portion of the video. Let's go ahead and jump into the swatches. I will compare this next to a bunch of other highlighters that I have. And then of course we will get into my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so now that we've made it through the swatches and comparisons, I hope that those images were helpful. Let me go ahead and get into my final thoughts. First thing I want to say, let's just kind of take the price out the window. Let's just talk about the product, how it applies. I think these are very, very beautiful, and I think the texture is extremely beautiful. It looks very beautiful on the skin. It doesn't emphasize texture. I mean, they did this formula right. It's a great formula, no complaints. Fantastic. Like, I don't really have anything negative to say about the overall quality of the actual product. When it comes to this shade, which is the pearlescent shade, overall, I definitely recommend and prefer this one from Fenty over this shade in particular. So as far as the actual product, I don't know that I could recommend it, only because they're just very expensive. And I don't really see that there's anything different about these that justify the price tag on these, because when you do the math on it, they're very, very expensive, and they're more expensive than, you know, Pat McGrath and stuff like that. And I kind of feel like if they were different and they applied differently and they gave us something different, I would probably lean towards saying, yeah, you know, these are pretty, but like at this price point, comparing them to the other highlighters that I have that are high end and work just as beautiful and apply on the skin just as pretty as these do, I just can't recommend them. I think they're overpriced. In my opinion, I think they're overpriced. They're very pretty. I love Dior. Packaging is really cute. It is Dior packaging, so, you know, there's that. But I think the overall quality of them, I don't really feel like justifies the price increase, because at that point, you're kind of paying for the name and not necessarily the product itself. When these other brands such as Charlotte Tilbury and Pat McGrath and all that, they can create beautiful textures. I mean, that one from Natasha Denona, I Need a Nude, that is one of my favorite highlighters. They're all made in Italy, and they apply on the skin so beautifully, and they don't emphasize texture on the skin. All of those are beautiful, and So it all boils down to paying for the name versus paying for the actual product. So if you're okay with paying for the name and you love Dior, you will love these. These are beautiful. Like, I don't have anything negative to say about the overall product. And I also think we're getting to that point where how many highlighters do we actually really need in our collection? You know, having different shades and undertones, I enjoy. If I'm wearing a different eye look, I will switch it up and wear a different color to kind of match or whatever. But we really don't need a lot of different highlighters, right? I have a lot of different highlighters because I do review. But if I wasn't reviewing makeup and I didn't have a channel, I would probably have 3 highlighters. I don't really feel like I need all of these highlighters because I'm truthfully just not using them. So overall, I think these are a pass. That's my final thoughts on it. Sound off down below in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts on these. Have you guys picked them up? If you have picked them up, share your thoughts. Let us know if these are different than other highlighters that you have. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Sound off down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.